All right, folks, welcome to Gamcast for Tuesday evening. Sorry we missed yesterday, but day job got in the way. But we'll be back to the regular schedule this week. Should be live at 1 p.m. every day. You'll want to subscribe so you don't miss these. I'm only doing these videos live on Twitter. If it says live, sorry, live on YouTube. If it says live on YouTube, it's only here. So yesterday, the Supreme Court lifted the stay that had been issued with respect to Trump's order at the Department of Education. And folks, once again, this is basic civics here. And another basic principle I'll tell you in a minute with respect to the law. So the Supreme Court decision doesn't say a lot. You're looking at it. It says right here, the application to stay presented to Justice Jackson. She then referred it to the entire court. The court voted 6-3 with the 6 constitutionalists and the 3 fascists dissenting. Basically, now, they didn't give any reasoning. I wish they had. But again, it just goes to show that Justice Roberts is a little cowardly on this. This is very basic stuff. So Trump issued an executive order basically laying off approximately a third. I think they have 4,200 employees at the Department of Education. It's the smallest cabinet post that we have. And they laid off about 1,400, which is right at one-third. And all these judges went screaming. The lower court, the appellate court both stayed it. And then these 3 fascists, Sotomayor, Kagan, and Jackson. Little surprised Jackson or Kagan joined in this, but anyway. And so again, what we have is the typical, ignoring civics here that, that Trump has the ability to regulate that branch. And here she says, this is Sotomayor, when the executive publicly announces its intent to break the law and executes on that promise, it is judiciary's to check that law and it's not expedited. And so here's where she's coming up with the break the law. Trump has said he wants to abolish the Department of Education. But this executive order didn't say that. It just says get it done with a third less employees. Well, that's perfectly legal. Now, if Congress doesn't like it, they can take some action. But at this point, there's nothing for a judge to do. Zero. This should have been laughed out of court. But again, this is what these people do. And this is the other point I want to make before we close up. Here's a post from somebody I never heard of, but whatever. Okay, Sotomayor that lets the president repeal statutes by firing everyone who carries them out. That's not what he's done. He didn't fire everyone. If Trump can dismantle the public education with pink slips, what stops him from gutting the EPA, the DOJ, democracy itself? That's outright idiocy, and you're not supposed to do that. You're limited to the facts before you in courts. You're limited to the facts before you in courts. You can't have the parade of horribles of all these things that might happen and then rule on that. That's not how our system works. It's never how it works. And Kagan and Sotomayor and Jackson know that, and shame on them for this ridiculous dissent. Should be very, very simple stuff. And the court, eventually they can rule on whether Trump's plan was legal or not. Anyway, if you enjoyed this material, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you do, I will see you on the next one.